Branch manager, please approve this.
Yeah, I'll check it right away, so put it in the unapproved basket for now.
I bowed to the branch manager, who efficiently handled his work and returned to my own tasks. His name is Takekata Buyu. He's an elite who climbed to the position of branch manager thanks to his skills as a banker. But, on the other hand, he had a few troublesome traits.
What are you talking about? You guys are really hopeless, huh? When I was your age, if I had said something like that, I would have been immediately told I was useless.
You were the one who said if you have any problems, feel free to talk to me, right? It's a semi-mandatory event. The annual drinking party hosted by the branch manager is as noisy as always. Lively, I guess. But the only one making noise is him, the branch manager, Takekata Buyu. The drinking party, where we just listened to him talk about his past glories, is nothing but painful for us young people.
Kids these days have no guts, huh? You gotta push yourself. That's what being a man is all about. There was this one time, when I was young, a robbery at Lovekoi Bank.
Hey, can I leave?
Wait a second, Miyafuji. I can't do this without you.
Then just leave together.
I can't. You get it, right?
I don't get it. I sighed and finished off the remaining draft beer in my glass.
Miyafuji, your glass is empty. You should have ordered before finishing it.
Who made that rule? I'm getting close to my limit. I have to get up early tomorrow, so I can't drink anymore.
How pathetic. It's my money, so don't hold back.
Thank you, but I've already been treated plenty. The branch manager sure is generous.
Well, I'm a man who lived through the bubble era, so I still can't shake off the habits from back then. I was quite a handsome guy back in the day, always being asked out by girls to drink. It was quite a hassle.
That's a nice wallet you have.
Huh? Did you say something, Miyafuji?
No, it's just that you're amazing. I could never do something like that.
Thanks, Miyafuji.
On the way back, my colleagues surrounded me, thanking me one by one.
Your skill to turn sincere words into sarcastic compliments and get them to leave was a lifesaver.
Don't rely on me. Even though they asked, I couldn't just ignore them, so I ended up participating too.
These days, making people attend drinking parties by force and pressuring them to drink is totally outdated.
Oh, you should have said that.
How can I say it?
This year's my third year at the 6th branch. I'll be transferred next year, so keep that in mind.
Traitor!
At Lovekoi Bank, 6th branch, we worked hard every day, listening to stories about Takekata Buyu's past glories. Excuse me, are you from Lovekoi Bank?
Yes, I am.
I have something I would like to discuss sometime. The young man looked unusually serious. Of course, feel free to contact me anytime.
Alright, that's all for announcements. But there's one more thing I would like to share with you all today.
Takekata placed his hand on the shoulder of the young woman standing next to him during the morning briefing. Right now, we only have Hasegawa handling the counter. It's been quite a heavy load, so HR has sent a temp to help out.
I'm Hiroboshi Setsuna. Please take care of me.
Don't be so nervous. If you don't understand something, just ask me anytime.
To you, branch manager?
Of course, I have the most experience and longest career in this branch. So you can rely on me for anything.
Yes.
Takekata is indeed a skilled banker with years of experience. Although he's loud at drinking parties, when it comes to work, he's undeniably competent. Normally, Hasegawa, who works in the same counter role, would be the one to train her. Since then, Takekata has been calling out to Hiraboshi more often.
Oh, well, I've already learned what you taught me, so I'll handle the rest.
You don't need to hold back. It's fine to lean on me. You don't need to worry when I'm around. By the way, how about we go for lunch today?
Huh? Well,
Don't worry, I'll treat you. That's what men are supposed to do.
but I don't think that's...
She seemed unsure how to decline. Branch manager, forcing meals like that is a compliance violation these days.
What did you say?
She clearly seems troubled. She won't be able to refuse a senior like you.
What are you talking about? She's just shy, right, Hiraboshi?
Takekata looked at Hiraboshi for agreement, but she, after taking a deep breath, gently shook her head. It's different from what you would do with other middle-aged staff, though that's a problem now too. Anyway, it's better for both of us if you don't push her too much, for your own sake too.
You have a lunchbox, don't you? I have one too. Let's eat in the break room. Branch manager, I'll take my break.
Huh? Okay.
For some reason, Takekata doesn't get tough with her. Hasegawa's help made Hiraboshi feel more at ease as she headed to her lunch break. I did too much. Since that time, Takekata had become harsher with me. I probably made him unhappy when I defended Hiraboshi. Tonight's sky is a bit cloudy. It's hard to see, but the moonlight feels nice. One of my hobbies is stargazing. But honestly, I'm not very knowledgeable about astronomy, nor do I bring a telescope. Just a 5-minute drive from my house, the top of this small mountain on the outskirts of town is my favorite spot.
What is with this?
I like stars. Staring at them makes me feel like a tiny speck of a human, and it makes all the trivialities of life seem unimportant.
Just because I'm timid and go along with everything, they think they can say whatever they want.
I'm just one part of a larger flow. Thinking like that makes me feel at ease. I can handle tomorrow.
I'm here to work, not to deal with this nonsense.
You're too loud!
Miyafuji-san, how long have you been there?
About 30 minutes. Hiraboshi-san, was that just now your true feelings?
Did you hear all of that?
Even if I didn't want to, I couldn't avoid it.
Please just forget about it.
Just as we talked, I found out she also liked looking at stars. When things became too overwhelming, she apparently shouted at them, like earlier. I see. Well, the stars feel like they'll take it all in, right? I think that's fine.
Oh, but today, even Miyafuji-san heard me.
Don't worry about me. I won't tell anyone, and I don't think anything of it. I gripe to myself all the time too.
Huh? Even you, Miyafuji-san? That's surprising. You always have this calm look, like you can say whatever's on your mind.
There are more things I can't say than things I can. Honestly, there are a lot of things it's better not to say. As we live, all sorts of emotions well up. Good ones, bad ones. Everyone keeps those inside and moves forward. So, isn't it fine? Not being able to say everything you think, that's part of what makes you you.
I feel a little better now.
Well, after yelling like that, you would feel better, right?
No, that's not it. It's because I got to talk with you, Miyafuji-san. Oh, and thank you for standing up to the branch manager for me.
I've already heard that a lot. Don't worry about it. To be honest, I intervened more because it was annoying, but that's one of those things better left unsaid. Since that day, Hiraboshi-san changed a little.
Miyafuji-san, good morning.
Yeah, morning. I can practically see her tail wagging. Hiraboshi-san's really taken to Miyafuji, huh? Well, can't blame her. Miyafuji's a good guy. Whenever she saw me, her face would light up, and she would come running over. She never got in the way of my work, though, so it wasn't a problem.
Why is it you? I was way more handsome than Miyafuji back in my day.
The branch manager let out an intense roar of fighting spirit. His hostility toward me grew even stronger after that. Maybe this is a problem after all. Quietly going about my business, that wish of mine was probably shattered the day Hiraboshi shouted at the stars. Man, I hope nothing worse comes up. A few months later, as summer approached and stargazing became even more enjoyable, I heard the branch manager's voice resounding throughout the office after hours.
Young people these days.
It was a phrase we had all heard so many times that it becomes tiresome. Usually, he saved such complaints for drinking parties, but today, he seemed particularly irritable. I learned that the old woman, the largest depositor in our branch, had recently passed away. Her son and grandson came to the branch to settle the inheritance today. The inheritance rights belonged to the father, but given the significant amount involved, the grandson had consulted me. It turned out that the son, the legal heir, had little interest in money.
But if they withdraw everything, it could cause various problems.
Problems? That's your issue, isn't it? You don't have the right to dictate what happens to her money.
All their deposits transferred to another bank? This is a grave issue.
So how about I visit them again and explain our financial products and investment options?
That's not the problem. That youngster is probably trying to make the inheritance work in his favor.
The branch manager raised his voice, taking it out on Enomoto, who flinched at the outburst.
I've known that old lady for years. Since I was young, I've always been good to her. Kids these days don't understand the meaning of duty or gratitude. There is such a thing as loyalty for past kindness, don't you think? Even the father, handing over responsibility to his son just because the kid knows more about finance? Doesn't he feel ashamed?
Noisy, aren't you? It's that kind of attitude that keeps you from being taken seriously.
And that grandson of hers told me. Miyafuji, you've been advising him, haven't you?
I nodded calmly. Yes, he came to me for advice, but advising is not the same as scheming, is it? I simply answered his questions. Given today's low interest rates, investing rather than letting the funds sit idle in a bank account is a valid option.
Can't you see how that's a problem? If you hadn't been so honest and given unnecessary advice.
We're bankers, sir. As the financial landscape changes drastically, we must adapt to it.
Enough of your nonsense. If our branch's deposit totals drop, it will heavily impact our evaluations.
And that's why we need to make better proposals. People need to take steps to prepare for the future themselves. The era you knew, where leaving money in a bank earned significant interest, doesn't exist anymore.
Here, you arrogant little... Respect for past deeds is important.
You fossil sure talks a lot.
What did you just say?
I said you fossil sure move your mouth a lot. Enough is enough. We're living in the present, not in the past. Times change, and the world moves forward. Clinging to past glories and showing them off will get you nowhere, Branch Manager Kitakata. With those words, I stood up from my seat. If I act now, it might not be too late. I'll go and speak with them again. Miyafuji, I'll go with you! Thanks, that's reassuring.
Fossil. Miyafuji-kun, you really said it. Please stop. Now I'm laughing too.
That guy, just wait until he gets back.
The remaining staff couldn't help but chuckle quietly. The branch manager's dignity, or whatever was left of it, had completely crumbled. When we visited the house, the grandson was clearly still upset. Could we have another chance to explain our financial products and investment options to you? Well, honestly, My frustration is with that stubborn branch manager. But I trust you. Especially you, Miyafuji-san. You were always helpful when I sought advice. Let's hear it. Thank you very much. Miyafuji, you rock! Thank you! I see. That might actually be good for my dad too. It turned out the grandson wasn't trying to use the money selfishly, contrary to the branch manager's assumptions. He was genuinely worried about his father's carefree attitude toward money and wanted to ensure his father's retirement was secure. Inheritance procedures were usually handled by the branch manager, but from now on, I'll be there as well. I promise to approach this with the utmost sincerity and dedication. Thank you, Miyafuji-san. Meeting a banker like you has been my luck. So yeah, the whole transferring the whole deposit to another bank idea is off the table. Case closed. Miyafuji, you're seriously amazing! I'm falling for you all over again! You were falling for me in the first place? Cut it out. In that moment when you stood up to the branch manager? Incredible! A fossil! Huh, even just thinking about it makes me laugh all over again. You've got quite the personality, you know that? Coming from you? No thanks!
Miyafuji-san, you're back!
It was well past closing time, but no one had left. Everyone's eyes turned to us, full of expectation. Hiraboshi-san? Everyone? What's going on? It's way past clock-out time.
We couldn't just go home knowing Miyafuji-kun and the others were fighting for our branch.
Fighting is a bit of an exaggeration. But don't worry, everything's being resolved. A round of cheers erupted. Apparently, the unresolved situation had been weighing on everyone, keeping them from leaving.
Marvelous, Miyafuji-kun! I'm thoroughly impressed!
He exaggerated every clap as he approached us, looking much happier now. His blatant change of mood was almost laughable.
So, how about we celebrate Miyafuji-kun and the team's efforts with a drink tonight?
Even the female staff, who usually avoided these gatherings, agreed to join for once.
Miyafuji-san, great job today.
Hiraboshi-san tried to serve me beer. Thanks, Hiraboshi-san. You don't have to do that though. By the way, was everything okay today?
Of course! Today is about appreciating you, Miyafuji-san.
Normally, the female staff avoided these gatherings because of the branch manager. It seemed the veteran receptionist, who was somehow immune to him, usually acted as the group's protective shield.
Hiraboshi-san, why don't you stop sitting over there and come talk to me? I would love it if you pour for me.
The branch manager, more talkative than ever, was clearly taking advantage of the situation. It was painfully obvious that he saw this as an opportunity to spend time with Hiraboshi under the guise of celebration. How predictable, and how annoying. Did he forget he's a married man?
Well, I'll come right now.
You don't have to go, Hiraboshi-san. She froze mid-motion, looking at me with wide eyes and slightly flushed cheeks. In this day and age, forcing a woman to pour drinks is a clear violation of workplace compliance. Miyafuji, you're gonna give Hiraboshi-san the wrong idea with that. You're so cool though, seriously cool. Let me pour for you, branch manager. Excuse me from here. I kill my emotions and plaster on a smile. I've gotten quite used to this task by now.
Miyafuji, you're just trying to keep Hiraboshi from me, aren't you?
Oh, I'm not sure what you mean. Miss Hiraboshi doesn't belong to anyone.
Don't play dumb. You noticed I like her, and you're getting my way.
Have you forgotten you're married? Anything further would not only be harassment, but a serious breach of conduct. And using your position to pressure women who can't resist. You really are a fossil stuck in the past. Can't keep up with the times, can you?
What did you just say?
Miss Hiraboshi can't stand up to an older man like you when you speak so forcefully. But perhaps that's exactly why you're attracted to her meekness and restraint.
Of course, a woman walking humbly a step behind is the essence of femininity. Respecting men is.
Stop it!
Miss Hiraboshi?
Miyafuji is right. I feel scared and shrink back when the branch manager speaks, unable to oppose him. But honestly, I've always hated it. Branch manager, I have no intention of getting involved with you, especially knowing you're married. Please stop pursuing me.
Hiraboshi firmly declares her stance with her own words, showing her growth and strength.
What do you think you're doing here again?
How did you find me?
The Wives Network, of course. Word got around that you've been bothering young women again. And another thing. Do you have any idea how much debt we're in? Pretending to be well off and borrowing money for it. Unbelievable.
The person who arrives is none other than Kitakata's wife, a strong, assertive woman, quite different from Hiraboshi.
Come on, we're going home. You need to stop bragging about your past exploits to young people. You'll just be hated. Sorry about him, everyone. Here's the payment. Thank you for putting up with my useless husband.
Oh! Stop pulling my ear!
Quiet! You're not young anymore. Stop thinking young women will entertain you.
How does she know everything? I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Kitakata gets dragged away by his wife. It seems he's the type who's henpecked at home. So that's why the branch manager couldn't stand up to Senpai Hasegawa.
What exactly do you mean by that?
No, you're strong and cool, Senpai! It turns out Hasegawa is friends with Kitakata's wife. She rarely participates in drinking parties, but her presence today led to Kitakata's situation being exposed. Thanks to her and the others, today's gathering turned out to be quite enjoyable. As for Kitakata's fate, his cunning wife imposed a strict allowance system on him. His credit cards were confiscated, and he could no longer spend freely. Mandatory drinking parties, which plagued the branch, disappeared, much to everyone's relief. I also reported Kitakata's conduct to the compliance department. Of course, I did anonymously to avoid unnecessary trouble. Kitakata's reputation with headquarters took a significant hit. Rumors suggest he might be reassigned to a remote branch or demoted next year. My efforts to prevent the branch's deposits from decreasing had somehow been reported to headquarters.
Well done, Miyafuji. I had high expectations for you, and it seems I wasn't wrong. How about coming to headquarters next year and working under me? I'll put in a good word for you.
I had never been particularly interested in career advancement, but when Minaki, the person I respected most in the organization, said it, I couldn't help but feel motivated. Thank you. If that time comes, I'll give it my all. Incidentally, my colleague who was with me also ended up earning a higher evaluation. It's beautifully clear tonight. Summer was nearly over. Feeling the chill in the air, I continued to gaze at the starry sky.
Mind if I join you?
The sound of footsteps crunching the ground was accompanied by a clear voice, as serene as the night sky. As you wish, my lady. I joked calmly, prompting a cute smile from Hiraboshi.
I used to be afraid to assert myself. I always thought, who am I to speak up, and assumed I'd be rejected. But surprisingly, when you do speak up, people can be receptive. The reason I was able to stand up to the branch manager is that I saw how effortlessly you did it. Thank you.
Her voice carried a sense of liberation, and was so pleasant to hear that I closed my eyes softly. Then, a sweet, gentle fragrance grew stronger, and I felt her lips press softly against my forehead.
I love you, Miyafuji.
You've become quite bold. You used to be so reserved.
People can change. The stars are always watching over us, no matter the era.
I don't dislike that whimsical side of you. She laughed against the backdrop of the starry sky. That view made me feel happy, and, uncharacteristically, I let out a laugh. Past glories, surely they are the foundation that strongly supports us in the present. Living with the achievements of those who came before us rooted in our hearts must be a wonderful thing. But denying the present era and flaunting those glories as if to block its flow only makes one a fossil stuck in the past, allowing ourselves to drift with the passage of time, occasionally resisting it. We live in the here and now, becoming one of the countless stars in the vast universe. Just a tiny speck of light.
Hello, Brittany here. Oh, I loved that story. I related to it so much. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed it too, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, lovelies.